Hey everyone, I wanted to make a video about some items I use. I'm not really sure what to call it, maybe vision and lighting or something like that. Things I use in the garage for working on my car or welding or any other kind of work. And probably the best capital investment you can make in doing DIY car work is a caged work light, 15 foot or so wire should be good enough for most garages. You can always add an extension cord, of course, but 15 feet seems to be about the standard. And I think I got this one at a rummage sale for like $3 or something like that. The metal cage does get hot. If you could find a plastic one, it won't get hot as quickly if you're not working too long. But definitely good to have. Even has the extension cord option, so you can plug in something else. This is good for like soldering under my dashboard or something, so I have light, and I can also plug in my soldering iron. And to go along with that, you need a good light bulb. I definitely recommend getting rough service light bulbs, and I got these at a hardware store that was going out of business, so I got them really cheap. They were $2 originally, and I think I got them for $1. But anyway, it's definitely worth the extra 50 cents or $1 you might pay for a rough service bulb, because you can. This bulb has been in here for a couple of years and it hasn't broken or gone out or anything. Regular light bulbs, could shatter if you really smack this around like I tend to. It might get kicked or get something dropped on it. So it could also be a safety thing. You don't want broken glass flying at you when you're rolling around under the car or anything like that. The only thing, like I said earlier, these can get hot, so maybe a good way to get around that would be to get an LED light bulb, and that's the way I'd like to go eventually. They don't have glass to break, and they won't get as hot as incandescent bulbs. But I picked up about 6 of these rough service bulbs, so I'll have a ways to go. And for your general purpose, light bulbs in your garage or shop, I like using. For years and years, I didn't know that there were light bulbs higher than 100 watts, incandescent anyway. And I finally found some, and it was really changed the way I work. I don't need as much daylight for working. Lighting is very important for safety and just for quality of life. So here's a 150. I definitely like 200 is a little bit better, and I have used 300s before, and it's really awesome if you can find them. But sometimes they're like $5 or $6. But maybe buy one of them, a 300 for an area where you want to have well lit, and put 150 or 200 elsewhere. And these are cheap as well. This was about $3. Not too bad, and they last X amount of hours. It's not like it's a constant cost to have a little extra light. This is kind of interesting. This is a hard drive platter that you'd actually get out of a computer hard drive, and I took apart a bunch of hard drives years and years ago and saved these for whatever reason, and I'm glad I did. I actually use them as mirrors in my car for using like looking around corners or under things. Especially I had a window motor that I had to replace, and this was awesome for looking around inside the door to find fasteners and unscrew things and find the connectors. And unfortunately, if these fall, they shatter somewhat easily. So I have a stash of them that I can use, but they don't last that long. I tend to break them. You could also get a dentist smear, which I have laying around somewhere, but I think AutoZone sells them for a couple bucks. It would be a good thing to have for looking around your engine bay. Like I said, inside a door or under your dashboard. Definitely good to have. This is maybe more of a safety item, but obviously good safety goggles are important for working. I have some sort of old scuffed up ones that I would use if I'm, say, doing some woodworking or using my angle grinder or something. It doesn't have to be as precise. I'll use the old ones, and I have these newer ones and more high quality ones for finer work if I'm doing some painting or something. And I think these are about $10 a piece. These Uvex ones are maybe a little bit less, but spend $5 or $10 on a few good ones, and they'll last a long time if you take care of them. Like I said, more of a safety thing, but goes along with the whole vision theme of this video. And last is portable lighting, like flashlights. This is like a Walmart or Home Depot headlamp, and I don't really use it that much working on the car. Maybe like I said, under a dashboard or really under the car if this isn't cutting it. But good to have laying around. I use this fishing too. You'll find uses for little flashlights, and even if you don't wear it as a headlamp, you can just hold it and use it as a light. It doesn't preclude it from being used elsewhere. And there's another light that's over my toolbox that I have to grab. Actually, two lights I wanted to mention. This is like, I don't know if I got this at Harbor Freight, but it's like similar to the ones you get freebies at Harbor Freight. We have a whole stockpile of them, and they're just good to have and toss around and lose. But for the price of free, they're not. They're good to have just for poking around. And this is a pretty cool flashlight. It's not terribly bright. It's like a little 3 LED light, and I think I need new batteries. But it has a flexible end for the head here, and it also extends out quite a ways. So I was using this. I just changed my water pump on my Colorado, and this was awesome for like some initial looking around. I was able to bend it 90 degrees and put it down like behind the fan and look around, see what size the fasteners were, that sort of thing. So this is definitely come in handy. I think you can find these for a couple bucks. I think AutoZone has them. Maybe $3, $4, $5, but it's definitely worth it. Unfortunately, it takes. Actually, I don't know where the batteries go off the top of my head, but I think it takes like watch batteries, which is, kind of hard to come by. You have to go look for them. I'd like to see AAA's instead, but yeah, you gotta save. I just sort of try to save the batteries on this and only use it if I really need the features of the swivel head, and just save it for those sorts of things and not use it as a general purpose light. So that's all for this video. I hope you got some ideas and inspiration for your own garage and learned a thing or two. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.